Hi FlossTube, I'm Hannah, the Okie Stitcher. This is my daughter Aoife.
Hello.
Hello. Today is Monday the 16th of January? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the 16th of January 2023.
Yeah, 16th.
And this is probably going to be a short video, but I just wanted to pop on and show you what I've been working on. I actually have 3 projects that I am currently doing, which is very different because usually I'm very monogamous. The first one that I have to show you I've talked about in a couple of videos now because I've been slowly putting it together, but this was a Christmas Day start, and this is Krampus. So this fabric is 14 count, hand dyed by myself with coffee dye.
Really pretty.
Thank you. So I'm just using call for DMC thread. It's an Etsy shop called, I don't have it in front of me. Pretty sure it is Stitch Cat. But anyway, I'll link them down below. Yes, I think it's Stitch Cat on Etsy. So, as you can tell, I got a lot done from Christmas until now, not even a month later. My goal today is to get this horn done. And then I think the rest of the face is gonna come along really quickly, so I might actually have it done in the next week or so. So there's my first whip. And then my second whip is actually my New Year's Day start.
This one?
Yes, this one. Actually, before I go on to my New Year's Day start, this one I started on January 3rd, and again I don't have a cover photo because it's an Etsy shop and it doesn't have our cover photo, but the shop name is The Gloomy Gremlin, and it says actually Frankenstein is the doctor, and it has little floral motifs around it. The call for is 310, $9.87 for the green and $9.62 for the flower, which is a light pink. But I didn't think that it quite fit. I don't know, I just wanted to spice it up a little bit. So I got this fabric from Hobby Lobby. This is the package, 14 count, still Ada, but it's not white. I know, I'm branching out and getting spicy. Spicy. Okay, so the fabric is a really stiff Ada, but just like any fabric, the more that you work with it and get your oily hands all over it, it loosens up. Oily. So there's my needle minder that my daughter got me for Christmas. Oh, excuse my dryer in the background and my dishwasher. I tune them out because I'm used to the noise, and then I start filming and I'm like, oh yeah. Okay, so let me get the threads out so I can tell you the names. So the yellow is 726 for the flowers. The green is still the 987. Didn't change that one. But then the lettering, instead of black, I'm using a brown, which is 433, and of course they're scraggly because I'm actively using them, and I don't bobbinate for these smaller patterns. Now when I get my first Hade and long dog and all that, I will bobbinate those because I'll have those out for a lot longer. But this is where I've gotten. So this little motif of flowers, there'll be 4, 1 in each corner. And then I started with the F for Frankenstein. And I chose these colors because yellow for remembrance. And I just felt like yellow was just better than pink as far as the storyline goes. Because if you haven't noticed by now, I'm all about the symbolism. Like anything that I change, I mean, every once in a while it's just because I think it's prettier than the called for, but most of the time there's a specific reason why I change it. So yellow, and then the brown, because it's more of an earthy color, and he went to the graveyard, Frankenstein went to the graveyard and dug up the body pieces for the monster, and so there's that symbolism. Plus I think brown just looked better than the black.
Yeah, brown looks better.
Yeah. So the word actually will be up here, and in the pattern there's not any like commas or anything like that, so grammatically it's bugging me. So I think I'm gonna do like actually ... Well, I was originally I was just gonna put an extra comma, or not an extra, but a comma. But I think what I'm gonna do is like say actually ... Frankenstein. Frankenstein's in big bold letters, and then down below it says is the doctor. And I think I'm gonna put actually ... Frankenstein is the doctor. And that way it kind of reads like actually, put a little bit of sass into it. But that is that. And then I might change the color for doctor. I haven't quite decided, just because I want to draw attention to the word doctor. I don't know. I'll keep you guys informed, because these are obviously fairly quick stitches. So did that, and then this is New Year's Day start,
and it's supposed to be Ralph's Valentine's card.
Mm-hmm. Well, show them.
And it says, I choose you,
Yeah.
but it's backwards on the camera.
Yeah, it might be straight for them. I always forget which way is good for you guys.
So
But
choose.
Mhm. Yeah, and if you guys are Simpsons fans,
You know what it says.
this is a pretty iconic episode.
When Lisa gives
Mhm.
Ralph the card.
Mhm.
And just
Yeah. And the episode, so it's obviously a school Valentine's Day party. Everyone's getting Valentines except for Ralph. Ralph didn't get a single one. So Lisa whips up one, just like in the middle of the party, and gives it to him, and this is the Valentine. And that one always stuck with me as a kid.
Because I watch it a lot. I love that one.
Yeah, now she watches it a lot.
Every night.
Yep. And so when I came across this on Etsy, and I haven't been able to find this one, because on Instagram when I do updates, I like to find the Etsy shops and tag them so they can see the progress. That way, they can see people actually enjoying their hard work of making these patterns. But I haven't been able to find this pattern again. So I don't know if it was taken down or I don't know. But the Etsy shop is Ophelia's Creations.
Maybe.
Yeah, very possible. I have seen others that it just focuses on the train, or just kind of focuses in on it. But this one I liked specifically because it was like the actual cutout of the Valentine.
I saw that pattern. It's really pretty.
so I did the total outline, and then and then I did kind of this inner outline, and then in between is gonna be a very, very light purple all the way around. But I took a break from down here, and I'm working on going across, which will be, the top part will be the steam, and then down here will be the train. But I'm working on that boundary. I'm trying to get some of this black work done, so that way I can keep it as my travel piece, and if I have the outlines done, then I can just fill in where I need to. Which segues into what I was doing this last weekend. So I took this with me.
Oh, you did?
Yep, I took this with me. And me and my other co-leader took our 4 cadets, Girl Scout cadets, to a cabin in the woods at the Girl Scout campground to finish up their silver project as much as we can. So again, this is something else I've talked about in a couple of different videos. Yeah, we tried to finish it.
It broke. It bended. And then they tried to fix it. And they broke it.
Yeah. So they decided on the project to make these quilts for foster care way back last June. And they've been working on the silver project since July. Yeah, as far as getting donations and stuff. In August, they had a quilt marathon day at our local library, and they cut out a whole bunch of fabric, started sewing blocks together, and
cut.
Yeah. And then they took a whole bunch of fabric and batting home, and all of this stuff was donated. So all of it.
Last when they were juniors.
Well, what she's referring to is my oldest daughter did a bronze. No one else was here to do the bronze, but she did it. And this lady donated bags and bags and bags of fabric for her bronze, because she was making fidget blankets for a local hospital. So we just repurposed her bronze fabric into silver fabric, if that makes sense. Yep. So we were thinking that we were going to have enough fabric to make 4, maybe 5 quilts. We had enough fabric to make 7. And there was another quilt that was, the quilt top was donated by my mom, that I think she found it at a yard sale or something, and my oldest daughter.
She was using it, but she decided not to finish it, so she gave it to us.
Yeah, I don't know where she got it. And she donated the batting to go along with it. So my oldest daughter and I went out, we bought the sheet for the back, because that's cheaper than buying just plain fabric. Then we took it down to the local quilt shop, had it quilted out of our personal money, and then my daughter and I bound it, which that was, binding a quilt is more difficult than it looks. I'll just say that it was pretty difficult for someone who's never bound a quilt before. So
you did quilt classes when you were younger.
no, I mean, I learned how to sew, and I've done quilt blocks before, but usually when it came down to binding, because my mom, she hand sewed her binding, and we machine sewed this binding. But anyway, what I'm getting at is with that one, we'll have a total of 8 blankets to donate. So that is pretty fantastic. I'm so proud of these 4. There wasn't.
I wasn't allowed to go.
Well, of course not, because you're not a cadet. And it was a work trip. They spent 15.5 hours working on their project. 15.5 hours. This is one of the quilts that they made. I just put this up as an example. So they did 8x8 blocks with 7x7 batting squares, and then they sewed it in an X. They sewed it in an X, and then they sewed them together. So that's just to give you an example. And I didn't realize when I made the reservations for the camping trip, it was Friday the 13th. So I was like, this is, yeah, I was like, man, I wish you guys were old enough to watch Friday the 13th, because this would be like the perfect. The other three, I'm pretty sure their moms wouldn't have appreciated us watching Friday the 13th in a cabin in the woods at a campground.
On Friday the 13th.
On Friday the 13th. So, but yeah, that's what I've been up to. As far as crafting goes, I'm sure you guys aren't really all that interested in my personal life, but I think Eva had a couple of drawings that she wanted to show you guys before we sign off.
Your drawings. I don't really make a lot anymore. I normally watch YouTube.
Okay.
So this is one of my paintings on here.
Okay. So what do you want to tell them about this painting?
This thing off. Well, it is on the drawing app, as you can tell. I use like paint, like the paint one on there. And then I use like this one weird paint. I think it was this one right there. I used that one right there. That one right beside the paintbrush. And that tin. That one right there. I used that one to do like the purple little streaks of grass. Then this one. And it now I have like other ones that they're like outlined already, but it was right. That's your FlossTube people while you flag this. Right. So this. Here's this one, like a Disney type one.
Is this a different app or is it the same
It's the
drawing?
same app. It's the same app, but these are like little outlines that they give you, and you can do like different designs on it. It's super cool.
Okay, so kind of like the coloring books.
Yes, it's the coloring books because you can color them as like any color you want.
What is that app called?
It is called. It is called Drawing something.
This one.
That one was called the pink something. There's more.
Drawing Desk is
Drawing
what it
Desk.
is. Yeah, and that was a free app if you guys are into
Drawing.
coloring and drawing. That might be a good one, especially for a travel situation. You got one more?
Yeah, I'll do one more.
Okay.
So here's this one. I did this a couple years ago. It's really cute. And it's like I call her Chelsea because she looks like a Chelsea. So yeah.
Like a Chelsea Barbie?
Yeah, like a Chelsea. Like an older version of Chelsea. Not really Barbie. And then she has roses and red hearts. That is pretty neat too. Her dress like a mint color. Her skin tone is
Peachy.
is peach.
Alright. Alright, well, next time? Okay. Alright, so I think that is all for us today. We are getting ready to go for a run, trying to work towards that 10K goal that I have. And she is trying to get back into shape for softball season because that will sneak up on us before we know it. I think sign up starts in March.
Yes.
So, and then it's pretty much as soon as sign up closes out, which is roughly a month later, is when we get notifications of team assignments and stuff like that. And then other than that, our only other immediate stuff going on is Girl Scout cookie sales. That's gonna be, cookie season is so cold. So cold sitting out there. Sometimes it's snowing, sometimes it's raining, but it's always cold and windy. So yeah, which I understand why they do it, because if you wait till a warmer month, you risk the chance of some of the cookies melting and getting destroyed.
Because I have chocolate that come
Yep.
like the
Caramel Delights.
Yeah, caramel delights.
And the peanut butter patties. And then there,
Thin Mints.
yeah,
They're chocolate.
yeah. And then also just the frosting in the middle can get damaged if it gets too hot.
Like the caramel within the cookie,
Yep.
making the brown
Yep, so that's all we really got going on for the next couple of weeks, which is a nice change of pace because we have been going, so it's nice to just have some time to just de-stress and enjoy life at home for a little bit. Alright, but I think that is it from us. Hope you have a good holiday and have a good couple of weeks until we have a chance to talk to you again. Alright, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Hey FlossTube, it's Hannah, future me. Post-run, as you can tell by the run frizz and the warm flesh face. But when I was running, I realized that I forgot to talk about, my husband drove past, but the YouTuber that I am currently following. So I've been following Angie the Craft Cave Dwellings channel for quite a while, even back when she was Hibernation Stitcher. But what made me really think about her this past week was Friday the 13th and my camping experience out at the cabin and everything. So on her channel, she goes into great details about the Halloween movies and Friday the 13th movies and all the classic horror movies. And so that's something that we have connected on over the past year or so. And so when I was out at the cabin, I actually thought about tagging her in my Instagram post, and for whatever reason I decided not to, but she found my photo anyway and she commented, and that just made my day. So I definitely highly recommend her channel. If you like all the classic horror stuff, you definitely should check out her channel. So yeah, that is my shout out. Well, shout out, it's not really shout out, but so yeah. Oh, also totally random, I was thinking about doing a Okie story time at the end of my FlossTubes about just random Oklahoma facts. Could be famous people from the state, could be historical moments, could be attractions. Like, I know there's a sewing museum in, I think it's Shodo. But anyway, there's all kinds. It could be crafty, could not be crafty. If you're interested in that, if you could comment below and let me know, and when I say Okie story time, it'd be like a minute or two. Definitely nothing more than probably a 3-minute little plug, just to kind of highlight my home state and kind of shed some light on why Oklahoma is so great. And now this video is just cursed of loud noises. I am so sorry, people. I filmed out in my Jeep thinking it was going to be quieter than my husband's wheelchair and dishwasher and dryer, and my neighbor started up a saw. We're just gonna have to roll with it, y'all. But let me know if Okie story time would be something that y'all would be interested in, because I'm kind of excited about it, because I've been doing a little bit of digging and there's actually a lot more in my home state than I even realized. So yeah, just let me know. All right, I'm gonna sign off for sure this time. All right, TTFN, ta-ta for now.